You've been hanging around the locker too much with those guys.
He's Mr. Wizard over here. Eric Green has a great question for you, Tony. He says, what would be your ideal finish for Sting's final match? Does he pick up the win for his team? Like, this is one of those things that people, I think, sort of compare to the Undertaker. The idea being, a lot of fans think, hey, the streak shouldn't have ended. And Sting sort of has a streak of his own. He's undefeated in AEW. Would you like to see him retire undefeated in AEW or no?
Oh, yeah. Of course I would. And I'd like to see him finish with the regular Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Drop, Scorpion Death Lock, and get the win. I don't know who it would be against, but I think it would be a big deal.
And I'm sure you've said it, Tony, but Sting is the best. And he's like, our locker room is better to have him around. And I think he's really good influence on all of us about how to be a genuinely great person.
Yes.
And that's tough in professional wrestling.
Yes,
to have those people around.
Yeah. He's a leader, not necessarily a leader about what you should do in the ring, but how you should be a professional behind the scenes.
How you carry yourself, for sure.
How you carry yourself. Yeah. And that's why this was, and I know, he's up in age and he does some crazy shit for his age. Oh my God. But I know why Tony signed him, and he signed him just for this. And he signed him to be a leader backstage, which he has been. It's a good guy.
And to give Tony some props, he is a super wrestling fan, and he wanted to give Sting a proper send-off. And boy, has he done that.
A lot of things. I think that's a lot of what people forget about Tony is that's he does right by professional wrestling.
Yes.
Sometimes he tries to course correct a little too much sometimes, but I think it's, I consider myself very lucky to be in the locker room with Sting every time I see him. I can't believe I wrestled in a match with him. Like, that still blows my mind.
Yeah. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal for all you young guys in the business, that you get a chance now to say you've been in the ring with Sting. I mean, gee whiz, how many people can say that?
And he doesn't, like, Sting wrestles the same. In his brain, he'll wrestle the same way he wrestled in 2000.
Yeah.
When you think about Sting through the years, Mr. Cassidy, what's your favorite version? Did you prefer Surfer Sting or Crow Sting, or where do you land on that?
I definitely, I'm a big fan of Surfer Sting.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to see, that's how you have longevity, I guess, in your wrestling career, right? You have to, I guess, reinvent yourself. The idea that he was a surfer dude,
yeah,
and now he's the Crow, maybe the Joker, like, I don't know how he pulled that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I started wearing Joker face paint coming down from the ceiling, people would be like, what an idiot.
But he can get away with it because of who he's been.
He can, yeah. And it works.
It also, honestly, here's another thing too. When I think about Sting, I think about, believe it or not, I think about the band Kiss and how the face paint has helped them age or prevented them from really aging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I never thought about that.
Right? Yeah,
that's great.
Gene Simmons really looks the same way Gene Simmons looked back in the 70s.
Because he's wearing he's wearing.
Yeah.
And well, those luchadors never age.
That's right, but they got a mask on. Right.
Oh, like,
no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Vampiro Orange?
If I did, it was I don't remember. I don't remember if I did.
Yeah. He did some commentary for didn't he, with Lucha Underground with Stryker. Yes. Right. And he hasn't done any since then, I don't think. What's he doing now, Conrad?
He's got a radio show. He's got a cooking show. He's doing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Out of all the things you were going to say, what he could possibly be doing at this moment, I didn't think Cooking Show would be one of them.
Me neither. That blew me away.
Now I want to search out Cooking with Vampiro.
I think he's like, I know he's doing some training with the, different, police departments. And, I know that he's doing, the cooking show, and he's got a supernatural television show where he's talking about ghosts and things like that. And then he's a DJ too. He's a jack of all trades, man, a bit of a renaissance man, if you will.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. It's not what
I don't really know. Like, I only know anybody that's worked with AEW because, no one really wanted me around their. No one really cared to have me around their locker room. I wasn't really booked a lot until AEW, so I don't really know many people unless they work for AEW or I met them at a StarCast event.
Well, thank you for joining us at all those StarCasts. We greatly appreciate it.
Yikes.
Oh, that probably hurts so bad.
Yeah. I don't think it worked out the way they wanted, but it probably hurt.
I remember the first time I saw Orange Cassidy. I was doing a podcast show after a wrestling show for Mikey from Black Label Pro, and Bruce and I were hanging out backstage right after Bruce had been signed back with WWE, but we had the show booked, so of course he was able to honor all of his bookings. And Dylan, the former Hornswoggle, came over and said, "Conrad, have you seen Orange Cassidy before?" And I go, "No, I know the name." And he says, "Come look through the curtain and watch this." And I'm like, "Okay." And it was like, wow, that's different. It was really, really impressive. And you could tell right away, like, enough people just have to see this and they're going to love it. So it's interesting.
I remember that. That was the first. I mean, I think we met before that, but that was like the first time you actually saw me
do your thing.
Put my jeans on. I wrestled Filthy Tom Lawler that show.
Yes, you did, and it was fantastic.
Can I ask a question? Did you have a Hornswoggle on your shoulders so he could see too?
I was peeking out the top of the curtain and he was peeking below. It was like a Three Stooges moment. We needed Bruce right in the middle.
All right.
Oh, let's track DDP.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.